All personnel. Code Violet. Mess Hall 7. Corvathy cubs are loose. Security is ordered to stand down. Repeat. Stand down per diplomatic protocols. Commander HFY's voice cracked through every speaker in the Galactic Military Academy. A kind of panic usually reserved for hull breaches hit in one wave. 300 cadets. 15 species. Every instinct screaming the same thing. Hide. Run. Do not make eye contact. Because 5 Corvathy cubs prowled between the rows. Each one the size of a tan lion. Heavy paws. Thick muscle. Jaws lined with serrated teeth built to crack armor plating. They snatched food trays like trophies. They scattered utensils like confetti. And they treated the chaos like a game. Near the entrance, Lieutenant Vexel stood with his hand hovering above his sidearm. Useless. His comm picked up his breathing before it picked up his words. Commander, they took the entire third section's lunch allocation. Commander HFY answered instantly. Denied. VXCL's jaw tightened. Sir, those cubs' parents are Corvathy ambassadors. One scratch, one bruise, and we have an interstellar incident. The cubs clearly knew it. The largest one, marked with crimson stripes, hopped onto a table and owned it like a throne. It smashed a Vigilian cadet's carefully prepared nutrient paste, maintaining direct eye contact with security the entire time. Cadets whimpered. Prey species trembled so hard their plates rattled. A few froze so completely their pupils wouldn't even track movement. The Corvathy were apex predators. They had spread across 6 systems before they even invented spaceflight. They had no natural predators. And their cubs learned hunting by instinct before most species learned to read. Vexel watched one cub casually batter fleeing. Gyprixy cadet back toward the cowering crowd with one massive paw. Like swatting a toy back into the box. Vexel swallowed. Commander, this is a disaster. We cannot even evacuate without risking injuries. The cubs think it is a game. Commander HFY growled through clenched teeth. I know. On his datapad, diplomatic protocols scrolled like a death sentence. Do not threaten. Do not provoke. Do not restrain. Do not sedate without ambassador approval. And worst of all, if you move defensively, their instincts can trigger a full predator response. Xylax spoke low, almost to himself. We are stuck until the ambassadors arrive. They are in a council session that will not end for 2 hours. 2 hours. In a mess hall full of terrified cadets. With 5 predator cubs treating everyone like entertainment. Then Lieutenant Vexel noticed something that did not fit. In the far corner, at her usual table, one human sat inside a small bubble of normal life. NORA. Cadet NORA. She ate a sandwich. Protein and vegetables. One bite, then another. Eyes on her datapad. Not even looking up. 2 cubs fought over a stolen dessert cart barely 10 meters from her. A tray crashed. A chair flipped. NORA reached for her drink without glancing their way. Lieutenant Vexel stared. Sir, the human has not been approached. Commander HFY snapped his attention to the corner. And he realized the problem. She cannot hear the announcements. She is wearing earbuds. NORA's little audio buds were pumping music straight into her skull. The world could have been on fire and she would have kept scrolling. VXCL's voice dropped. Should we warn her? Xylax watched the crimson-striped cub finish wrecking its current conquest. Then it turned. Its gaze locked onto NORA's table. And her untouched meal. Xylax spoke quietly, like he was ordering a funeral detail. Get a medical team standing by. Humans are durable. But Corvathy cubs do not understand proportional response. The cubs began their approach. Not creeping. Not stalking. Striding. Confident. Like creatures that had never met anything capable of challenging them. A Pelian cadet, Cadet Callas, raised his communicator with shaking hands. Command, This is Cadet Callas. Direct feed from Mess Hall 7. The cubs are moving toward the human. She still has not noticed. Repeat, the human has no idea what is coming. Across the monitors, officers leaned closer. Horrified. Helpless. The crimson-striped leader reached Nora's table first. It circled to her left. 2 others flanked her right. Pack coordination. Even at their young age, it was perfect. One released a low rumble. Not loud. Deep. A vibration that made bones feel loose. Cadet Callas nearly collapsed just from hearing it carry through the hall. Around the room, prey species stopped breathing. A few cadets covered their ears, and it did nothing. This was not noise. This was dominance. Lieutenant Vexel spoke urgently. "Sir, we have to do something." Commander HFY answered, strained. "Negative. Any intervention triggers their hunting instincts. If we move aggressively, they attack everyone. Right now, they are only playing." But playing for a Corvathy cub looked like combat. The crimson-striped cub reared up. Both massive paws landed on Nora's table. Its claws gouged deep marks into the metal. It lowered its face within 1 meter of her. Jaws parting. Serrated teeth. A mouth designed to tear through reinforced plating. Nora turned a page on her datapad. Lieutenant Vexel muttered, half in awe, half in terror. "How is she that calm?" A command officer replied over the channel. "Humans have fear responses. We have seen their entertainment archives. She just does not realize what is happening." A second cub batted at her lunch tray. It skittered a few centimeters. A third cub released a deeper rumble. Its natural intimidation frequency activated. Cadet Callas felt his knees buckle. Commander HFY spoke grimly. "We tried contacting the ambassadors. Their communications are locked for high-security discussions. We are on our own for at least 90 minutes. The crimson-striped cub lowered into a crouch. A precursor to a pounce. Its siblings mirrored the posture, forming a triangle around Nora's chair. Every predator indicator screamed the same thing. Imminent strike. Cadet Callas whispered into his transmitter. "Someone has to warn her." No one moved. Fear held them like gravity. Then Nora finally looked up. Not with panic. With mild annoyance. She stared at the massive face hovering over her fries. She set her sandwich down. She swallowed. And she cleared her throat. Soft. Polite. Barely a sound. The effect was instant. The crimson-striped cub froze. Eyes wide. Pupils contracting to pinpoints. Ears flattened against its skull. For one stunned heartbeat, it stood perfectly still. Then it bolted. Not a retreat. A full panic response. It scrambled backward, crashed into a sibling, and sent both tumbling across the polished floor. Another cub ran without choosing a direction. It slammed into a support column hard enough to dent the metal. Then ricocheted toward the exit. Within 5 seconds, all 5 Corvathy cubs evacuated Mess Hall 7. Their claws scrabbling against deck plating echoed down the corridor, fading fast as they put distance between themselves and the human. The mess hall fell into a silence so clean it felt unreal. You could hear someone's drink trembling in its cup. You could hear a cadet's heart monitor chirp. You could hear fear finally turning into confusion. A security officer finally found his voice. "Cadet." Nora picked up her sandwich and took another bite. Then her eyes returned to the datapad. Cadet Callas was still transmitting. Commander HFY's mouth opened and closed without sound. He finally forced words out. What in the name of every star system just happened? Lieutenant Vexel sounded equally stunned. "Sir." The cubs fled from a sound. From a human sound. Xylax snapped, composure cracking. Someone get down there and find out what kind of weapon that human is carrying. Sonic disruptor. Pheromone emitter. Subsonic frequency generator. Now. 4 security officers burst in, weapons drawn, and stopped short. Nora pulled out one earbud. "Oh, hey," she said casually. "Did something happen?" Lieutenant Vexel approached carefully, scanner sweeping. "Cadet Nora. What did you do to the Corvathy cubs?" Nora blinked. "The what?" Vexel pressed harder. "The 5 predators that were about to attack you. What defensive measure did you employ?" Nora looked around, finally seeing overturned furniture and traumatized cadets. "Wait. When did all this happen?" She paused, thinking. "Oh. Those big catdog things. They were getting close to my fries. So I told them I was not sharing." Vexel demanded, voice tight. "How?" Nora answered, honestly confused. "I cleared my throat." She demonstrated again. Every security officer took an involuntary step back. Lieutenant Vexel spoke slowly. "That sound made the most dangerous juvenile. Predators in the known galaxy flee in terror." Nora shrugged. "It's just a throat clear." "Like, excuse me. Personal space." Commander X1X's voice came through the speakers, dangerously calm. "Lieutenant. I need a biological warfare specialist in that cafeteria immediately. And someone find me every piece of data we have on human vocal patterns." Cadet Callas, still shaken, spoke up. "Sir, the Academy's xenobiology database lists throat clearing as a warning vocalization. Used to indicate mild displeasure. Or to gain attention." Xylax repeated flatly. "Mild displeasure." Callas confirmed. "Yes, sir. It is considered one of the least aggressive sounds humans make." An analyst's voice joined the comm, quiet with dawning dread. "Commander, Corvathy hearing peaks in lower frequencies. To them, that throat clear may register like a pre-attack rumble. A promise." Commander X1AX went silent. Because that meant something simple. To the Corvathy cubs, Nora had not made a polite noise. She had spoken their language. Predator language. And she had done it without raising her voice. Without baring teeth. Without moving at all. Nora returned to her lunch. Still not understanding why everyone stared. But nobody had a full answer. Not yet. Only a lesson the galaxy had just learned the hard way. Even a human's politest warning could land like an apex predator's vow. And 5 Corvathy cubs, for the first time in their evolutionary history, had discovered fear. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe to Survival Arena HFY for more HFY stories every day. Turn on notifications, so you never miss the next upload.